Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Eternia.com. I'm your host AJ, and today we're doing an unboxing and mini review of the Masterverse Princess of Power Shadow Weaver Wave 8 action figure. Now, to join Shadow Weaver, I have her friends Hordak and Katra. Actually, they're not really they're her friends, especially not Katra. Let's just call them co-workers. And I'm really excited to get her out of the box and take a look at her. But first, let's check out that packaging. So here is the Shadow Weaver artwork. And once again, Masterverse does not disappoint. Both images on the spine and the back of the box is just outstanding. Once again, I'm not certain who did the artwork for this packaging, so I'm not going to mistakenly identify the artist. I have a feeling I know who it is, but I just want to say whoever did this art did a fantastic job. And I tell you, at the end of this Masterverse run, I really hope they release all this artwork in book form. Hopefully someone at Mattel is listening, or Dark Horse, and someone can make this happen, because this artwork has really been spectacular. And I could just imagine this great coffee table book where we're thumbing through all of this great art. Hopefully they make that happen one day. We also have the Evil Horde symbol on the box, and I've always loved that symbol. Hopefully that doesn't say anything negative about me. Here is Shadow Weaver's bio, and there's nothing earth-shattering in there. And what's interesting is this Masterverse artwork also has that extra line detail in her costume, which we'll talk about once we take out the figure. So let's do it. So here is the Evil Horde Shadow Weaver outside of the box. Now, I know some people might immediately be concerned, saying, hey, why does Shadow Weaver have short sleeves? Or why is her sleeves pushed up? And which was actually a very popular look in the 80s. And she is a creation of the 80s. Her roots didn't come from a vintage toy. Her first appearance was from the Filmation 1985 series, She-Ra, Princess of Power. But the first thing I need to do is actually put on her sleeves, or her cape. So I want to show you here that it's soft goods and it's stitched. There's a little stitching here, and what happens is you put her arms in the sleeves, if you will. There we go. There's one. We'll do the other side. We'll show how this looks. And here she is with her arms through her sleeves, and you can see now it looks more show accurate. And what you can also do, which you couldn't have done with some of the other figures, is you could push her sleeves up. Sometimes during the animated series, she would lift an arm and she'd be casting a spell and you would see more of her arm. Now, if you actually didn't have soft goods and this was more of a sculpted red robe, red gown, red outfit, you couldn't display her in a more show accurate way because her sleeves would often roll up on her arms. So with this soft goods design, you can do that. Look at that. Look how good she looks. All right, let's take a closer look at her head sculpt. There's really not that much to see, just like Orko. And it's funny, when I was a kid, my first impression of Shadow Weaver was that she came from Trala. The same realm as Orko came from, because, facially, they both had these red hoods and faces in shadow. And I was just convinced this was like some sort of Amazon woman from Trala. And later I learned that there was no relation. So here on her body, you can see the Horde symbol. And she has these little lines molded in her outfit that actually wasn't on the original Filmation show. But I definitely dig this look. Now, Shadow Weaver can stand on her own, but she also has a base that she floats on. And this is not new to this figure, but I believe this smoky plastic is. Normally, I think on previous figures, she came with clear plastic, but this one is smoky, really matches her evil origins. So it's something I didn't expect. Now, one thing I didn't expect, which was a pleasant surprise, is Shadow Weaver on the bottom has articulation. I mean, not just side to side, but forward to backward. And I really think we can actually put her in some dynamic poses, especially on this stand. So great job, Masterverse. So let me get her on the stand and see what we can do. Okay, this is really wild because we actually have 2 points of articulation. Now this base, this stand has articulation. Depending on where you put it in, you could put it forward and backward or side to side. It just depends how you insert the actual base. So you have the base articulation, and then the figure goes that much further. Base articulation stops here. Figure goes that much further. So this is pretty wild. I'll have to dream up some different ways that we can articulate her, casting some spells. But good job, Masterverse, on making this traditionally static figure a little more articulate. Great head articulation, too. So now in regards to accessories, we have her wand. We also have a magical fire blast. We're going to put these on her in a second. And we also have a spare pair of hands. And here is the Shadow Weaver holding her wand. Now fans of She-Ra, Princess of Power, Filmation animated series is going to recognize that. And here is the evil mistress of dark magic performing dark magic with her magical blast. And here is Shadow Weaver with her evil, dark magic casting hands. And she's about to cast a spell on you. Better look out. And finally, we have a 360-degree look at the Masterverse Shadow Weaver figure. And I'm very happy with this figure. I wasn't sure if I was going to be happy with the soft goods, but I really am. Especially the fact that the sleeves now can actually roll down, so to speak, and can expose more of her forearm, which is accurate to the show. I love that she has extra articulation here. I can't wait to play with that. If I could get her into some dynamic magical casting poses. And I even like the paint application here, especially the paint they used for her green skin. So I don't know, they just did a great job. Once again, this is another terrific wave. Just like Wave 7, it's turning out to be a fantastic wave, Wave 8. So I'm really thrilled with this figure, and hopefully you are too. And hopefully it's going to be hitting shelves soon in mass quantities, so you can get your hands on the Shadow Weaver if you want to. So that's it. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.